A book in the making, as described by the Riverside Press in 1938. After the receipt of the manuscript, the first step in the making of a book is the designing of the format by the typographical and art departments. The manuscript goes first to the copy editor and is marked with specific directions as to the type and general composition in preparation for the keyboarding machines. The keyboarding machine operator transcribes from the manuscript as would a typist, except that instead of printing on sheets of paper, perforations are made on a roll of paper. The perforated roll is transferred to the casting machine and controls the making and setting of the typecast. The action of the roll is similar to that of a player piano. The type is carried from the casting machine in long metal trays called galleys, and impressions, called galley proofs, taken on a hand press, are read by proofreaders and authors. The columns of the corrected type in the galleys are divided into page size and locked into iron frames called chases, 3 or more pages to the chase. The form, which consists of the chase and the pages it contains, is sent to the electrotype foundry, where an impression in wax of the pages is taken. After the wax mold has been blackleaded, it is placed in a bath containing a solution of copper sulfate, sulfuric acid, and water, where a copper shell is formed by electrolysis. The copper shell is stripped from the mold. White metal is poured onto the back of the shell, and the copper becomes the printing surface of the plate. The several plates are then sawed apart. Planed to the correct thickness, the plate is leveled, trimmed, beveled, and routed. Then, after inspection and proving, the finished electrotype is ready for the press. The plates, one for each page, are placed in the proper position on the bed of the press to appear in correct sequence when the sheet is folded. Rollers distribute ink from the fountain over the surface of the plates. The paper, at the rate of approximately 2,000 sheets an hour, is carried by the cylinder over the plates. The printed sheets are brought to the bindery and folded into units of 16 pages called signatures. Here are shown 4 signatures from one sheet, divided into separate units for gathering. The signatures in correct sequence are placed in pockets on the gathering machine, swinging arms placed on a conveyor consecutive signatures, culminating in a complete book. The consecutive signatures are sewn together, forming a complete book. The sewed books are then smashed to give them solidity as well as the correct thickness. The edges are trimmed, usually at the top, front, and foot, opening the folds. The back of the book is rounded, forming an indentation for the hinge of the cover. Each book is prepared for its cover on a backlining machine, which glues to it supporting strips of crash and paper. This machine also puts on head and foot bands. Meanwhile, the covers are being made. The machine glues the cloth, places the binder's boards of the correct size on the glued cloth, and turns in the edges, forming the cover. The title and design are stamped on the shelf back and sides from specifically cut brass dies. The book is assembled by fitting the cover mechanically over the automatically pasted end sheets. The books, stacked between boards, are placed in a compressing machine, locked, and allowed to dry under pressure for 18 hours. After a thorough inspection of each book, a jacket is placed on it. Books are stacked on rolling tables and delivered to the shipping room.